Welcome to our viewers from around the globe. You join us just as today's practice session for the Australian Grand Prix is about to start. I'm here with Anthony Davidson once again. Nice to see you, Ant, and I wanted to ask you about how you go about improving the car over the course of a practice session. How much would you say is already known from the pre-race simulations, and how much do you have to do, how much do you have to work on with a real car on a real circuit?
Well, that's a good question, Crofty, and I suppose the simple answer is that there's no such thing as too much information. As you say, the bigger teams have very complex simulations, vast numbers of clever people crunching the numbers back at base, but what they can't tell you is stuff like how the track condition's going to be, or what the temperature's going to be doing over the course of the day, and how all of that's going to be interacting with the tyre. There are so many millions of tiny variables involved in getting these cars around a racetrack quickly, but the computer can't tailor the car to a driver's specific balance requirements. At some point, you still need to put a human being in there and have them feel it through the seat of their pants. And that's why we end up with different drivers having different setups. So what I'm trying to say is, Crofty, nothing beats on-track testing.
We're going to be logging some extra data during this session. Nothing you need to worry about, but as we have some new parts, we'll just confirm they're performing to spec. Okay, let's update the setup. session so far.
As all the cars are now over the line, your top three again are Alonso, Welcome to Melbourne, where qualifying for the Australian Grand Prix should be getting underway shortly. It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
Good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
The grid is all set then for the race tomorrow. But before we go, let's quickly remind ourselves of our top three, who are Hawk, Alonso and Daniel Ricciardo. The grid is set then, so that just leaves the race itself. Join us tomorrow, where we'll be live with all the action. And until then, it's goodbye.
All right, I think we can call that a successful qualifying. We should be in with a good chance in the race.
New drivers, new cars and a new Formula One season. But it's the same Albert Park that we've come to know and love for more than 2 decades now that hosts the first round of a 21 race championship, taking us from here in Melbourne, Australia, across the globe before we eventually reach the season finale at Yas Marina Circuit in Abu Dhabi. So here we are at Albert Park Circuit. 3.3 miles of public roads, closed for the weekend of course, make for a bumpy surface with little undulation. There are 16 corners around the lake with the best passing opportunities coming at turn 1 and turn 3. I'm joined today in the commentary box, as I will be throughout this season, by a great racing driver, former F1 competitor, and who was world champion once upon a time as well, and an all-round top chap. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, the first time racing these cars. So what are the big questions that need to be answered here, in your view?
First of all, Crofty, and thanks for the glowing introduction, I just want to say it's a real privilege to be here, and I can't wait to see what this competitive field has in store for us this season. Now, to answer your question, obviously there's the question of performance in race trim, but really this is going to be all about reliability. It's the first Grand Prix of the season, don't forget. You're pushing all your new components to their limits. Formula One cars are full of very sophisticated but also very sensitive technology. So the most important thing today is to get to the end of the race, keep everything in good condition, and try to stay out of trouble while you're at it.
We're almost ready to go then, and this is what the starting grid looks like for today's race. Hawk lines up on pole position, with Daniel Ricciardo slotting in alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Perez, Max Verstappen and Bottas, Raikkonen, Hamilton, Hülkenberg and Esteban Ocon, Magnussen, Alonso. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Carlos Sainz and Leclerc, Grosjean, Hartley, Pierre Gasly and Marcus Ericsson. Stroll and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, we got pole. Now let's get the double with the race win. virtual safety car, reduce speed immediately and keep a positive delta. Drop your speed, our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately. Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green. Okay, clear. A new strategy is available on the MFT. Copy. Is 5.8 seconds. Green flag. This lap. This lap, keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed. Release. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. Receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track. Okay, focus. We need to stay on form. pace is 4.5 seconds. The gap to the car behind is 3.9 seconds.
It was a tough race at times, but they've held on to take a great victory for Mclaren today. And I have to wonder, Anthony Davidson, just what set them apart from the competition here.
I think a large part of the result comes down to temperament. They were able to keep their heads when everyone around them was losing theirs, and that's allowed them to get the best out of the car, to maximise the strategy, and to stay out of trouble.
And look at that, they're making their way out onto the podium now. Great race from the Mclaren team, and I'm really happy to see them there on the top step of the podium. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the Drivers' Table. Hawk takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Well, I think it has to be Fernando Alonso. He got the strategy spot on and consistently had the pace to come through as well.
And now let's take a look at the Constructors' standings. McLaren moved to the top of the table. It was great having you with us for this weekend. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Until next time though, goodbye.
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy. You took the top points today. Was it a comfortable win? Everything went your way today. It looked like you had a really good strategy for the race. We all underestimated you, didn't we? Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash? Great! Well, that's everything.
Just wanted to say congrats on the podium. It's thoroughly deserved. We were sweating those last few laps on the pit wall, but you brought it home.